Welcome everyone. Today's presentation will highlight book adaptations, or their defined term, literary adaptations, what they are, and some examples of films and series. Movies and TV series presented in this video were chosen as examples of literary adaptations available in 2020 and the types of content typically chosen as adaptations. All images presented in this video are for informational and educational purposes. So what are literary adaptations? A literary adaptation is a conversion of a literary source, e.g. a novel, comic, and more, to another medium. The most prevalent types of literary adaptations are film, plays, and video games. But for the purpose of this presentation, we will focus on film adaptations. Interesting enough, most adaptations don't necessarily follow a literary work to the letter, and are changed to suit a particular audience or demographic, such as changing a story to be appropriate for children. Other reasons they deviate is due to the complexity of the original work or availability of funds for special effects to make scenes work. You will notice a few things in common for many literary adaptations. Many share the same relatable aspects, such as things we face in our own lives or represent where we would like to be. Other adaptations find and harness the fantastical elements of the characters and worlds we read about, but are unable to experience ourselves. Common genres with rapt audiences for adaptations include drama, adventure, or romance, and play on people's fantasies and interests. A good example are the Harry Potter books when they were adapted into a series of popular films. At the time of the first release in 2001, films based on books depicting popular scary and lovable monsters were the focus across the nation, and U.S. patriotism was at an all-time high. Fantasy titles such as The Mummy Returns and Monsters, Inc. further flooded the film industry and the first movie to become a huge success. So what is in it for filmmakers and authors to create film adaptations? Adapted works are popular in films as they represent considerably less risk to their creators and those involved. This is because they have already attracted a strong following. It clearly works as a literary piece that appeals to a broad group of people who care about the work, and the title, author, and characters may already be a franchise in and of themselves. So where do I find them? Because of the social impact of COVID-19, it is hard to know when and where content will be released. Maybe this will change after the summer. Most film production companies hope this will change based on their new August through December release dates. For now, though, there is a variety of alternate options out there to watch. Most prevalent are Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV, and Disney+. Titles are generally labeled as video on demand since they are not available on DVD or Blu-ray for purchase. For the purpose of this presentation, we will discuss the novel and/or other literary work which was adapted for each title. Information may include the title, genre, parental rating, where to watch, and a short description of the work. Pause the video at any time to read descriptions or jot down release information. Moreover, don't forget to read or listen to the book before you watch. So without further ado, let's look at some of the titles available in physical and digital formats at the library. Our first title is Sweet Magnolias, a TV series based on Cheryl Wood's 11-book series. Sweet Magnolias portrays many of the conflicts found in popular romance novels along with real-world examples. If you like the book Lovely Lighthearted by Jenny Han, you're going to want to watch the sequel called P.S. I Still Love You. Widely popular by teen readers and some adults, the TV series focuses on love and relationships and the emotionally difficult situations the characters find themselves facing. Normal People by Sally Rooney is relatable to many and will take readers and viewers to a younger time in their lives. The book adaptation emphasizes on romance more so than the original novel. Although the content remains close to the original story, there are some differences in tone and feeling when you watch. Originally a young adult title, there is an elevation in content that is not suitable for younger audiences compared to the novel. On the other hand, Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Nig portrays the story of Elena Richardson and her family and the mother and daughter duo Mia and Pearl Warren, who upend their lives after renting one of the Richardsons' homes. If you liked flawed characters and becoming emotionally engrossed with the stories you read, or just like a good scandal, this book series might be for you. Defending Jacob by William Landay is a suspenseful and heart-wrenching portrayal of how a family's livelihood has spiraled out of control. The book is well written, and the characters drive the story. The producers of the series did a great job casting Chris Evans for the role. As most people know, trying to evolve from one character to another is exceedingly difficult. Recommended for adults as some themes can be hard to deal with for viewers. On a lighter note, the next two titles are for tween and teen audiences. Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli will introduce readers to Leo, a student just trying to survive high school and his emotional roller coaster of a crush, Stargirl, of which he's become intertwined. In true Spinelli fashion, emotions run high, awkward situations ensue, and the drama of high school is displayed for all to see. Next, we have Artemis Fowl by Owen Coffer. This story follows the main character and anti-hero, Artemis, through a world of fantasy, fairies, magic, and advanced technology. Part of a multi-book series, Artemis will be forced to become the hero from his original role as master villain. Young adult films and series are a special case for literary adaptations. They are the most varied, as they are adapted from novels, comic books, graphic novels, and more. They also have some particular traits that make them hard to pin down. Young adult taste in books and entertainment is influenced heavily by social media and current trends, more so than any other age group. Additionally, loyalty in books and authors and specific characters changes very quickly. To cope with these changes, extensive marketing is done by looking into fan groups, what is being talked about on social media, and the types of events that are hosted publicly throughout the year. On another note, when it comes to literary adaptations for young adults, parental content tends to elevate as there is a difference between written description and depiction in a film or series. Many titles that would have a rating of TV-14 will have become TV-MA. The next half of this presentation, we will highlight a selection of film and TV series adaptations. Our first title is The Personal History of David Copperfield, a playful and fun film based on Charles Dickens' classic literary work, David Copperfield. Shadow and Bone is a book by Leigh Bardugo that tells of Alina and her struggle after becoming the mysterious Darkling. The Kingsman is a prequel to two movies already out and based on the original comic book series The Secret Service by Mark Millar. The tone is fast, gritty, and action-packed with a little bit of comedy. The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells is a remake of the classic science fiction horror novel. The Rhythm section, adapted from the novel by Mark Brunell, follows a woman named Stephanie and her determination to get revenge against the people who killed her family. Greyhound, formerly The Good Shepherd, written by C.S. Forester, portrays a historical and naval narrative of an American destroyer during wartime with German U-boats. Birds of Prey, based on the comic book series and DC graphic novels by Amanda Conner and many others, follows Harley Quinn and her exploits after her life with the Joker. The movie is action-packed and extremely over the top. No Time to Die is an adaptation that follows Ian Fleming's older James Bond stories. Without Remorse is Tom Clancy's first novel of the John Clark series about a man and his career outside of the law while working for the CIA. Chemical Hearts, adapted from the young adult novel Our Chemical Hearts by Crystal Sutherland, follows Henry and his romantic relationship with Grace during high school. Mulan is a reimagined live-action release of the original based on the novel by Elizabeth Rudnick. Emma, based on the novel by Jane Austen, introduces audiences to a more modern approach of the original story. Gretel and Hansel portrays a darker version of the story with similar ties to the fairy tales by the Brothers Grimm. Wonder Woman 1984 is an adaptation of the comic book Wonder Woman by William Moulton Marston. Death on the Nile is a third book adaptation by author Agatha Christie, following the adventures of Detective Hercule Poirot. The Witches is a remake of the original film that terrified children in 1989 and written by Roald Dahl. Dune, our final adaptation, is the new retelling of the classic novel by Frank Herbert. Let's hope the film will do a better job to follow the story and characters depicted in the original novel. That's all for today's presentation. Thanks for joining me. Look forward to more videos by Yuma County Library staff.